Morning, Millie. Every time I come across you these days, you seem to be shredding something. What is it this time?
These are last week's Fuck It Friday letters I haven't got round to yet. Actually, there's one here you might not want shredding.
It's from the CQC. I always put those straight in the box.
Perhaps you should have read it first.
Oh, shit. That bloody tick-box Tina woman wants to come back for a follow-up visit. What was it she was moaning about last time? The magazines in the waiting room not being diverse enough, wasn't it?
That, and something to do with mops or something.
OK, I suppose you'd better arrange something then. And Millie, make sure before she comes all the magazines are removed from the waiting room this time.
Won't she think that's a bit odd? What do I tell her if she asks me why there aren't any?
Oh, I don't know. Tell her the patients steal them.
By the way, your first one's cancelled.
Oh, great. That's a good start to the week.
Hello, Millie. What are you doing? I'm shredding last week's Fuck It Fridays. Oh, what are they? You really are new round here, aren't you? Every day I have to put all the letters we get from people like the Department of Health, CQC and whoever in that box and given to Dr. Fideo on Fridays. Then he goes through them and says, oh, fuck it, and puts them back in the box for shredding. But surely that must risk missing something important, mustn't it? I was reading the GDC is thinking of making it mandatory for practices to arrange unconscious bias awareness training for staff now. Oh no, not more stupid courses. What's that then anyway? It's part of their equality, diversity and inclusivity program apparently, supposed to make you realise whether you're biased against someone without being aware of it, I think. What, you mean like Dr. Fideo telling me if I put Mrs. Scoggins in his book again, he'll strangle her? No, I don't think that's an example of unconscious bias. Is he in? Yep, but I wouldn't bother him now if I was you.
Look, Mum, I'm an aeroplane! Oh!
Now, Ryan, you're disturbing everyone else. Sorry about this. He gets very excitable sometimes. He's a nightmare on Christmas morning, running about like this before 5 o'clock. Ryan, do you know why Father Christmas is so fat? Because he eats children he finds up before 6 o'clock in the morning.
Hello, is that the CQC? Can I speak to someone who can advise me about a dental practice problem? Thank you. Hello, I wonder if you can help me. We had a patient in the practice this morning, and it was only after he left that we'd noticed he'd obviously trodden in something before he got here. Yes, I'm afraid it was. Problem is, he trod it all over the practice before anyone noticed. Now what I want to know is which mop we're supposed to use to clean it up. Obviously, if we use the appropriate designated ones, they'll all end up contaminated. But we can't just use the waiting room ones with the rest of the practice. Yes, I know, it's a real problem, but I thought I'd better check with you, as CQC compliance is something we attach a lot of importance to. OK, thank you. I'm on hold while she goes to ask someone. Guess what music they're playing? Hello, I thought I'd been put through to Brussels then. No, never mind. They said what? And then throw it away afterwards? Have you any idea how much mops cost? And we're on a tight budget, what with the pandemic. OK, well, if you can't help me any further. They fall for it every time. Sorry, Rufus, were you busy? Rushed off my feet, Charlie. No, just killing time winding up the CQC. First patient cancelled. Actually, though, it's just given me an idea for when that woman from the CQC comes back. I didn't know she was coming back. Why does she need to do that? Apparently she has to do a follow-up to check we put right any tiny little discrepancy she might have found last time. Tell me, have you noticed the staff all seem a bit grumpy recently? Well, there does seem to be a general feeling that having to do the enhanced CPD, they should be paid extra. What? I'm paying a fortune to have a personal development plan drawn up for them when being able to get their clogs on the right feet would amount to a significant personal development for some of them. Organising which courses they should go on and paying their travelling expenses plus the course fees. And now they think I should increase their wages for the privilege. Well, they've got another think coming there. I rather thought you might say something like that.
Dr. Fideo? Tina Petty's here to see you.
Thanks, Millie. Can you tell her I've got a patient at the moment, but I'll try not to keep her too long? Talking of enhanced CPD, did you see that Fantasyland document the GDC put out? A dental nurse has identified areas where they need to update skills across their field of practice. They then find CPD activities to address this, and afterwards reflect on the learning they have gained and how they will implement this in their daily work. Can you honestly imagine any of our nurses thinking that? Jesus Christ, what planet do these clowns live on? I asked Sharon if she could think of any learning needs that might help her field of practice, and you know the only thing she could come up with? How to work the bloody coffee machine in the staff room. Actually, I wouldn't mind finding that out, Rufus.
I thought you had a patient in here, Dr. Fideo.
Really? What gave you that idea?
Does that mean I can tell little Miss what's her name she can come in now?
I suppose so. Oh, and remember those things I told you we were going to do?
Yeah, I know. I'm doing it.
Hello, come in, Miss Petty. Sorry to have kept you waiting, but you know how it is.
Tell me, Dr. Fideo, do all your staff wear different overshoes for different areas?
Yes, of course. I mean, it would be completely pointless having different mops and buckets to clean the floors if the staff were then going to walk all over the place wearing the same shoes, wouldn't it?
Actually, I think it's a good idea. I'll suggest it might be something we could add to the CQC requirements at our next meeting.
Right. Well, you've seen the waiting room and surgeries. Do you want to look at the storage of cleaning equipment now?
Yes, I think that might be good.
There we are.
Well, I'm pleased to say everything seems to be in order. Tell me, why do you have a rainbow-coloured mop?
Oh, that's for the gender-neutral washroom. We think it's important to embrace diversity and inclusivity here.
Is it used much?
No.
I have to say it's very gratifying to see a practice that has embraced the CQC compliance guidelines with such enthusiasm.
Oh, I can assure you that there is nothing closer to my heart than the issue of patient safety and being aware of our responsibilities in regard to compliance with CQC guidelines. I think that all went very well, don't you, Millie? At least the mops weren't touching this time.
Well, they couldn't, could they? 'Cause you told me to nail 'em to the wall. So what do the cleaners use now, then?
Quite honestly, Millie, I don't give a fuck what they use as long as the floors are clean and the mops aren't touching.
Dr. Fideo, we're not going to have to keep wearing these stupid overshoes all the time now, are we?
No, of course not, Millie. Last time Tickbox Tina was here, she made a terrible fuss because she found 2 of the mops touching. So this time I thought I'd wind her up a bit.
What you doing for Christmas, then?
Oh, the usual. Big family get-together, eating too much, drinking too much, massive family argument, what most people seem to do. I asked my last patient what he and his family do, and he said, Christmas Eve, we all drive down to our toy store, look at all the empty shelves, sing one verse of What a Friend We Have in Jesus before flying to the Bahamas for a fortnight.